Strange animals shot and killed in the Montana wilderness.
And people have been throwing out crazy theories for a month now.
Most creatures born into the world are ordinary, like rabbits, frogs, or cockroaches. But every now and then, a truly rare and extraordinary animal comes along, changing the way we see the natural world. From a cat with a pair of fluffy wings to the strangest humanoid creature born on a Nevada farm, here are 20 animals that are born only once in 1,000 years. Number 20. Cat born with wings. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Oh no, it's a cat. This cat in China is no doubt giving all the birds a fright and all of the other cats a sense of deep envy. It seems that the fluffy feline has grown a pair of wings. There are a couple of suggestions about how this actually happened. Even though many animal experts have never seen it before and are frankly somewhat baffled by the unusual addition of this pet cat, some have had a couple of different ideas about the genesis of these wings. It could be a genetic issue, perhaps a mutation that was caused while the cat was still in its mother's womb. It may have been exposed to chemicals or something. The other idea seems a little less likely since the wings did not begin to appear until the cat was already a year old. But there are those people out there who have suggested that the extra parts could be a parasitic twin that had grown out of the cat's body, which is weird but perhaps less likely under the circumstances. The cat doesn't seem to be in the least bit bothered by its wings, and although they do not seem to function for flying purposes, who really knows? Perhaps they'll continue to grow, and this cat will have the most enviable bird-chasing ability. Number 19. Puppy with own image on ear. If this got any more cute, I may as well just burst. This is a super cute little dog called Lucy. She's all black and white and is a rescue puppy who hit the headlines back in 2017 because she has a very unusual feature. Lucy's left ear features an image of herself, as if she had a selfie printed right there onto her lovely floppy ear. There are a series of black and white markings that are so perfectly arranged that they look exactly like a super cute black and white puppy, just like Lucy. When Lucy was born, she was part of a litter of pups at the Lollipop Farm Animal Rescue Center in New York in the United States. She was then adopted by a young couple named Cassidy and Zach, who were amazed to discover Lucy's cute, unique markings. They hadn't actually noticed the exact selfie on the pooch's ear until a person in a store pointed it out to them when they were out buying dog food after they took her home from the shelter. Ever since then, Lucy has proven to be a mega cute hit with literally every person she meets. She's so friendly and cute, and then as soon as people go to pet her, they notice her selfie and are utterly charmed. So there you go. Tabloids just love a puppy. Number 18. Albino panda. It is exciting enough when baby pandas are born. Those things seem pretty special and rare all by themselves. But when an albino panda is born, well, that's like a one in a bazillion moment in nature that really needs to be noticed. This is a bit of footage that was captured in 2019 at a nature reserve in China, and people were so excited to see these first images of an albino panda. In fact, this is such a rare phenomenon that it was literally the first image of an albino panda that the world had ever seen, like ever. This crazy rare event took place at the Wulong National Nature Reserve in the southwestern province of Sichuan. The panda was caught on film crossing through a forest. It can be seen to have an all-white body and red eyes. This is most likely caused by albinism, which is a condition that causes a lack of pigmentation. The experts who have examined the footage say that the panda in the video seems to be strong and also has apparently a steady gait. This is how they determined that the condition had not seemed to have had any kind of adverse effects on the animal. I just wonder if it has any idea how special it really is. Number 17. Dog born with tail on forehead. As if life wasn't tough enough for an abandoned puppy in Missouri, of all places, this little pup was born different as well. This is a baby dog that was taken in by the staff at Max Mission Animal Rescue Center in Missouri. The first thing that you may notice is just how flipping cute the pooch is. And the second thing, well, that would be the extra tiny tail that's growing out of the little fellow's forehead. It is a weird thing indeed, but they have had him examined by animal doctors, and they've said that there's no reason to remove the little appendage. The tail, which doesn't wag or move, has been affectionately dubbed a unicorn horned by the staff, adding to the pup's magical charm. Narwhal's unique look has made him an internet sensation, with thousands of people following his story and expressing interest in adopting him. The rescue center has emphasized that they'll carefully vet potential adopters to ensure Narwhal finds the perfect forever home. Despite his unusual feature, Narwhal is just like any other playful and loving puppy, romping around with the other rescue animals and enjoying all the attention. His story has also highlighted the incredible work done by shelters like Max Mission, which specializes in helping animals with special needs. The rescue team hopes that Narwhal's fame will inspire others to consider adopting pets with unique challenges. They've even started a fundraiser to support the medical care of other special animals in their care. It's kind of sweet, don't you think? Number 16. the world's smallest stallion. Einstein was the world's smallest stallion. He actually ended up being internationally famous for his cutely diminutive stature and also charming pony personality. He was born in 2010 in New Hampshire and belonged to a miniature horse breed that originates out of Argentina. Standing at just 20.75 inches tall at the withers, Einstein was officially recognized by our old clipboard-clutching pals at the Guinness Book of World Records in 2010 as being the smallest mature horse that they had ever seen. And just look at how tiny he really was, just like a doll. He's so exciting. Einstein's petite size made him a global sensation, and naturally, he received a lot of attention from media outlets and animal enthusiasts alike. Despite the small stature, though, he had a spirited and friendly demeanor and was instantly liked by anyone who encountered him. His owners were well dedicated to providing him with a loving and nurturing environment, and Einstein was essentially a wonder of genetic diversity. His extreme teeniness had pushed the boundaries of the sizes that were believed possible, even within miniature horse populations. He really was a most unique creature, but sadly, his life would be cut short when he succumbed to complications from a ruptured colon in 2019. Now it's time for today's topic. In a remote corner of northern Nevada, near the small, quiet town of Battle Mountain, a farmer recently uncovered something that has left scientists and locals both horrified and captivated. While inspecting his barn after hearing strange noises, the farmer stumbled upon a peculiar sight hidden beneath a mound of hay. What he found was a creature so bizarre it seemed to belong in a science fiction movie. A strange humanoid pig hybrid, wriggling weakly in the straw. The creature, roughly the size of a small piglet, had a smooth, pale skin tone, large, unblinking blue eyes, and limbs that appeared almost human-like. It emitted squeals similar to a pig, but with an eerie undertone that made the farmer uneasy. Startled, he immediately called the local sheriff, who summoned experts from the Nevada Division of Wildlife and a team of geneticists from a nearby research facility. Preliminary examinations suggested the creature might be the result of a genetic mutation, possibly linked to radiation or environmental toxins from decades-old mining activity in the region. Others, however, speculate darker possibilities. Conspiracy theories quickly spread, with whispers of secret government experiments in the area, fueled by Nevada's association with classified military bases and UFO lore. The creature was quickly transported to a secure facility for further analysis. While scientists work to determine its origins, residents are left wondering, what else could be lurking in the deserts of Nevada, hidden in the shadows of its mysterious past? Number 15. Goat gives birth to human-faced baby. When a little black goat was born in India, some people saw the face of a human in the baby animal. The unusual appearance of the creature created quite the stir, and some people even began to worship the goat as an incarnation of a god. It's true that the goat had a face that was unlike other goats, a kind of flattened appearance. I guess if you squint a little bit and look at it sideways, you might even say that it was a bit human-like. But what do you reckon? The condition that causes these kinds of facial features is called cyclopia. It often results in the complete lack of a nose and, often, eyes that have not moved to their usual position on the face. Sometimes it makes the appearance of one larger central eye like a cyclops, hence the name. In animals, it's most likely caused by an unsuspecting pregnant animal grazing on a plant that may contain a toxin called cyclopamine. The toxin then prevents the brain from developing properly in an unborn fetus, causing that unusual facial feature that the little goat gets born with. Sadly, the condition is usually fatal, and most babies and animals born with it do not survive even long enough to be born. Number 14. Kitten born with 4 ears. As if the internet was not already stuffed full of cute cat videos, here's another one, and it is as cute as it is weird. This is Midas. He's a Russian blue kitten, and as you can probably tell, he has 4 ears. Yes, that's 2 extra than the regulation amount. Midas is definitely super cute, but he suffers from a genetic mutation that has left him with these extra ears and also a deformed jaw. Despite this, he's doing well and even has a social media following of his own. At last count, he had over 100,000 Instagram followers. That is really earsome. Alongside his unique look, Midas has become known for his playful and curious personality, which his family captures in videos that have melted hearts worldwide. His extra ears don't affect his hearing, and he navigates his home just like any other kitten would, though perhaps with a little extra charm. Midas also has a knack for befriending other animals, including the family dog, who seems unfazed by his unusual appearance. His fans regularly send him gifts, including toys and treats, which his owners say he enjoys thoroughly. His story has also raised awareness about adopting animals with disabilities, showing that different can still mean perfect. Born in a backyard in the Turkish city of Ankara, Midas was one of 6 cute kittens, but he was the only one that turned out with the extra bits. As soon as the family met Midas, they fell instantly in love, and fearing that he would not be adored by everyone else, they immediately made the decision to make him part of the family. But it turns out that their fears were wrong. since Midas has a legitimate army of dedicated fans who love to see the unusual feline in all of his four-eared antics. Number 13. Dog born without a nose. Poor old Sniffles. Not only does he have the problem of living without a nose, but he also has to live with an ironic name. I mean, there really is no justice, is there? This is Sniffles, the noseless pooch who would be rescued in Seminole County, Florida, all the way back in 2018. And when you look at him, no, he has not had some kind of crazy accident. He was just born differently. Despite his unique appearance, Sniffles doesn't let it stop him from living a joyful life, wagging his tail at everyone he meets. Rescue workers say he's particularly fond of children, who are often captivated by his unusual look and friendly demeanor. The shelter staff have also noted that he has an uncanny ability to sense when someone is feeling down, often snuggling up to them to provide comfort. Sniffles requires special care due to his condition, including regular cleaning of his nasal passages, but the shelter assures potential adopters that it's a small price to pay for such a loving companion. His story has garnered attention online, with countless people sharing his photos and advocating for him to find the perfect home. Naturally, despite the unusual condition, Sniffles is still super cute and quite a friendly dog. He has charmed absolutely everyone at the rescue center where he stays. Now that rescue center put out an appeal for some family to come and adopt the unusual hound, saying that although he may look a little bit funny, he is still an absolute treasure in the end. A Sniffles. Number 12. Pig born without back legs. Next up, we have a piggy that's been branded by the more religiously enthusiastic as being a miracle. Mini pig breeder and founder of Colorado Cutie Pigs, Al Smith, was shocked when one piglet in a litter of miniature pigs was born with only 2 legs. The tiny animal has been dubbed Miracle because he defied all the odds and not only survived the difficulty of his condition but is actually thriving. Despite the obvious challenges, Miracle has adapted remarkably, developing incredible strength in his front legs to balance and move around. Smith shared videos of Miracle on social media, where he can be seen happily exploring his surroundings, capturing the hearts of viewers worldwide. Veterinarians have been consulted to ensure Miracle's long-term health, and they're closely monitoring his spine to avoid complications as he grows. The breeder also started a fundraiser to cover the costs of a custom-made wheelchair, which will allow Miracle to move more freely and avoid strain on his front limbs. Animal lovers from around the globe have reached out, offering advice, support, and even homes for Miracle. Smith is carefully considering the best environment for the piglet to ensure his unique needs are met. Miracle has learned how to walk on his 2 front legs, and Smith has been amazed to watch this little piglet trot around as if it's just like the others. Although the pig seems to be managing just fine, his owners say that they'll be looking for a special home for him, and they'll be getting a wheelchair to help with his movement as he continues to grow. Miracle's journey has become a source of inspiration, showing how resilience can overcome even the toughest odds. Number 11. Albino deer. While trotting about in the mountains of Tennessee, a couple by the names of Abby and Trevor had a once-in-a-lifetime experience, but had it 3 times. They spotted a super rare albino deer in the town of Spring Hill, and it was so very unusual a thing to see, let alone 3 times, that they headed straight down to the local news and made sure to get themselves on the telly to let everyone know about it. An albino deer is indeed a rare creature. Albino anything really is unusual, to be fair. Albinism in animals is a genetic condition, which is caused by the absence of pigmentation, resulting in a lack of melanin. That's the pigment responsible for color in your skin, fur, feathers, and eyes. This rare occurrence takes place when an organism inherits 2 recessive genes that disrupt the production of melanin. Animals with albinism will often have a strikingly pale or white appearance with pink or red eyes because of the absence of melanin in the iris. Even though albino animals may be prized for their unusual appearance, their lack of melanin can actually pose several challenges to survival. Melanin has a really important job of protecting tissue from the harmful effects of ultraviolet radiation, so albino animals may face increased susceptibility to sunburn and have a higher risk of developing skin cancer. As well as all that long-term danger, it can also affect an animal's ability to camouflage itself and evade predators, making them more vulnerable in the wild. Number 10. Piglet with a human face. Next up is a sad story, which regrettably does not have a happy ending and, frankly, is more of a sideshow piece than anything else. It's upsetting for animal lovers to see the way that some poor creatures are exploited because they're born differently, especially when they're clearly suffering like this little animal was. The piglet, described as having a misshapen body and an unusually large head, drew significant attention after a video of it was shared online. The footage, which quickly went viral, sparked a heated debate about the ethics of exploiting deformed animals for entertainment or profit. Animal welfare advocates condemned the practice, emphasizing that such creatures deserve dignity and humane care, even in the face of inevitable death. Geneticists weighed in, suggesting that the piglet's deformities were likely the result of inbreeding or exposure to environmental toxins during gestation. In a heartbreaking turn, rather than being provided with proper veterinary care, the piglet was kept in an uncomfortable environment, adding to its visible distress. In many situations, the piglet would not have survived to be born in the first place, but this creature lived long enough to be gawked at and filmed for the internet as it struggled to breathe and passed away at just 2 days old. This case serves as a poignant reminder of the importance of compassion and ethical responsibility when it comes to the treatment of all living beings. Number 9. Exposed turtle heart. As if being born an albino turtle wasn't unusual enough, this little baby was also brought into the world with an exposed heart. This life-threatening condition is known as ectopic cordis in humans, but it has no name in animals because most would generally not be expected to survive the serious issue. However, this baby turtle, named Hope by her owner, is apparently growing stronger every day. Veterinarians have marveled at Hope's resilience, noting that her survival has provided valuable insights into dealing with rare congenital conditions in animals. To protect her vulnerable heart, her owner has crafted a custom enclosure that minimizes risks and keeps her environment safe. Hope has also been placed on a specialized diet to ensure she receives the nutrients needed to grow strong despite her unique challenges. Fans of Hope have sent her countless messages of support, as well as handmade turtle outfits designed to provide a little extra protection. The turtle currently lives in New Jersey, where the owner plans to give her the happiest and longest life possible despite the odds working against her. Well, good luck to them and fingers crossed for Hope in the future. Hope has since become a social media influencer. I mean, aren't we all these days? And has managed to achieve a massive following on Instagram as people have become fascinated with the little creature's incredible story and fight for survival against all the odds. Number 8. Four-legged chicken. Next up, we have a bird that is not only special but also super rare. This chicken hatched out back in 2018, causing everyone to do a double take and ask themselves exactly how many legs a chicken usually has. Yes, it is supposed to only have 2, but this one had 4. It's weird. This chick was born with an extra pair of limbs, and although the farmer has had a lot of people who seem to be somewhat overeager to buy the chick, he decided that he did not want to sell the unusual baby. Now, the bird's unusual situation did cause quite the stir in the local area. I mean, it must be dead boring there, to be honest, and loads of people came from all around to have a stare at the baby chick. These extra legs are actually the result of something called polymelia. Polymelia is a rare congenital condition that is characterized by the presence of extra limbs on the body. This anomaly occurs during embryonic development when the development of the limbs goes just a tiny bit off and veers away from the typical pattern. The severity of the condition will vary and can range from additional small and non-functional limbs to more fully developed and functional ones. It's a complex and often challenging condition that can affect people as well as animals and often requires medical attention and support for the affected individual. This chick, though, seems to be managing just fine. Number 7. Cow with a smiley face. This one is just too cute. Not only is this a gorgeous baby cow, but it has the sweetest story. Happy, the calf, was born in March of 2023, and his existence on this earth has already lifted the spirits of everyone who's seen him. The farm upon which he was born is located in Australia, and it's safe to say that these farmers have seen a fair number of cows come through the place in their time, but none are quite like this little one. They say that they have seen cows with heart shapes and even numbers in their patterns, but nothing as cute. Happy has a very distinctive pattern on one side of his body, and you can no doubt see exactly what it is and why he has his cute name. Visitors have already flocked to see the adorable calf, with some calling him a living emoji. His unique markings have made him a local celebrity, drawing attention even from animal welfare advocates who celebrate his guaranteed safe life. The farmers have joked that Happy seems to enjoy his fame, often trotting up to visitors with an inquisitive and friendly demeanor. Social media posts featuring Happy have gone viral, with comments praising his adorable appearance and his heartwarming backstory. The smiley face imprinted on his side guarantees that the little calf will live a long and happy life in a nearby event space called Larder Park as their mascot. He can now roam across the acres of fields that they have there and bring a smile to the face of everyone who sees him. Number 6. Rare white tiger cubs. All the way back in 2014, a litter of extremely rare white tigers was born in captivity in a zoo in Austria. This massively rare occurrence was marked by a media frenzy, as all the baby big cats were lined up to have their picture taken. There were 4 females and 1 male named Loy, Leela, Lila, Lulu, and Obama. This was the very first time that a litter of white tigers like this had been born in Europe, so it was kind of a big deal. But, I mean, to be honest, white tigers are a big deal anywhere. I know it's hard not to think about Joe Exotic and all of the other Tiger King creeps when you look at a white tiger, but bear with me because these are super lush animals, and these babies are simply the cutest. White tigers are a really rare variant of the Bengal tiger that can be distinguished from the regular sort by their white fur, pale blue eyes, and their chocolate-colored stripes. This unique coloration is attributed to a genetic mutation that affects their pigmentation. Contrary to their unusual appearance, white tigers are actually not albino. They have blue eyes because of reduced pigmentation, and in the wild, their vivid coat would likely compromise their ability to camouflage. That would make their survival even more challenging. These guys do not have to worry about camouflage in the wild, but unfortunately, they do face conservation concerns due to inbreeding and captivity in order to maintain their unique coloring. Those tiger king creeps, well, they're amongst the most guilty in this area, I'm sure. Number 5. Two-headed snake. When a snake turned up in a yard in central Texas, it surprised people in more than the usual ways. This particular rat snake happened to have 2 heads. Yes, that is one extra than the usual quota. The two-headed snake was collected by a zoo supervisor after it was discovered by a woman in her backyard because her dog had chased it under the porch. The unusual reptile is now going to be spending its life entertaining gawking visitors at the Cameron Park Zoo in Waco, Texas. The condition, known as polycephaly, is a similar sort of thing to what happens when conjoined twins are formed. The embryo begins to split like when twins develop, but then stops before it's completely divided. It is really difficult for snakes with this condition to survive in the wild. They become easy prey for all kinds of predators as they are slow-moving, perhaps because they can't decide which way to go. Anyways, all jokes aside, the snakes are also known to fight each other. The 2 heads behave as if they're separate and in competition with each other for food. It has even been known that one head will kill the other in an effort to win the fight. Number 4. Cyclops shark. There's something distinctly fishy about this story. Indonesian fishermen hauled in a shark they say was accidentally caught in their net, which is a rather suspicious explanation, really. But anyways, they were surprised to discover that the shark had 3 babies inside of it, and one of these baby sharks was completely white and had one eye in the middle of its head, just like a cyclops. Well, we've seen creatures like this before now, haven't we? The baby shark was most likely albino, which would cause the lack of pigment. Its unusual eye was probably the result of cyclopia, its development not allowing the complete formation of its facial features. The saddest part of it all, though, is that the baby sharks would have still been developing when the mother was caught and the babies removed. So, although the one-eyed shark is definitely interesting, none of these baby sharks ever had the chance to survive. Although there are examples of other albino sharks and also Cyclops baby sharks discovered in very similar circumstances, there's just something about this one that seems a little bit made up. But what do you think? It's definitely a way to draw attention to yourself. But then there are those awkward questions about the circumstances in which this one-eyed albino shark was discovered. It all smells a bit fishy, but perhaps I'm just an old cynic. Number 3. Cyclops goat. This baby goat was apparently born with another type of cyclopia, where this time around it caused the little creature to have just one eyeball positioned right in the center of its forehead, just like a cyclops. The little animal was born in 2017 in a village in India. This type of cyclopia is caused by a disorder that is known as holoprosencephaly. This is a rare and severe brain malformation whereby the forebrain fails to divide properly during the early stages of embryonic development. The disorder leads to various facial and neurological abnormalities. Severity ranges from mild facial differences to severe intellectual impairment. The condition's impact on development varies, with some cases being incompatible with life. The little goat seemed to have survived at least initially, although its life chances were likely decreased as a result of other complex issues that often accompany this condition. This baby goat, as you can likely see, only has one ear, no proper nose or eyelids nor lashes, and has abnormally tiny jaws, which is why the tongue sticks out to one side. This can ultimately mean that the animal is unable to eat properly and will suffer because it's not capable of proper growth and development. It's an absolutely sad thing to see. Number 2. Two-faced calf. When these Florida farmers saw a newborn calf that they named Annabelle for the very first time, they were slightly taken aback, to say the least. Annabelle was born with not one but 2 faces. The baby cow was born in 2022 with 2 sets of eyes, 2 mouths, 2 ears, and the little animal was bicephalic, meaning having 2 heads. And as we've seen before, this unusual feature occurs in utero in much the same way that conjoined twins happen, when the embryo begins to split but the process is left incomplete, leaving the 2 parts still fused together. The extent to which this happens can vary. Sometimes it results in 2 complete heads or even 2 complete heads and torsos, while at other times, like this one, it can result in an animal with almost 2 heads that are still fused at the center. It's rare for a calf to be born like this and to survive to this particular stage. The survival rate is around 38%, but many bicephalic animals don't last until full gestation. This is a very rare baby indeed. Number 1. This fish has 2 mouths. Now, it's never a brilliant public relations thing for a place when a mutant fish is pulled out of a nearby body of water, especially one that has extra parts. This is usually where people will begin looking for the nuclear testing facility or toxic waste dumping ground. And there are plenty of those places all across America. Whether or not that is the reason this fish developed in such an unusual way, well, that remains to be seen. This is the story of a woman who was fishing on Lake Champlain on the New York-Vermont border when she caught a creature that caught her by surprise. The fish, which seemed to be a lake trout, had two mouths, one on top of the other, and it kind of looked like it had two heads but also not. The fishing team, who were intrigued by what a member had caught, naturally did what all humans do in these sorts of situations. They posted a picture of the weird creature on Facebook. And like people do, all kinds of stories began to emerge about how other two-headed and double-mouthed mystery fish had been encountered by people over the years. But then again, everyone has a big fish story of some sort now, don't they? What would be impressive is if they had reeled in the Lake Champlain monster. That would be something I'd like to see. That's all for today's journey into the unusual world of animals. Which of these incredible creatures inspired you the most? Maybe you even have an unusual animal of your own at home. If so, let me know all about it in the comments below. Don't forget to check out the other cool videos on the screen. We worked hard on them, and they're definitely worth a look. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.